We make countless number of choices throughout our lives. Some are more important than others because they can actually change the course of our life. We come to that proverbial fork in the road, and we have to go one way and not the other. Today's gospel tells us about such a choice. The young man in the story wanted to know what he needed to do to gain eternal life. Jesus said, well, keep the commandments. And he said, well, I've kept all of those since my youth. Jesus looks at him, loves him, and says, well, go and sell all that you have, and then come, follow me. The gospel simply says he went away sad because he had many possessions. He was given a choice and made a decision that impacted the rest of his life. Who knows what he might have done? Perhaps he could have been selected to be one of the apostles. Perhaps he could have written one of the Gospels. Some people say that the young man should never have asked the question unless he was prepared to receive the answer. In the case of the young man, he might have looked at Peter and his brother Andrew and seen what Jesus asked of them, to leave their nets and follow him. Or he could have looked at Matthew and seen how he had to leave his profession as a tax collector and follow Christ. What about you and me? Should we ever really ask the question, what do you want of me, Lord? How do you want me to serve you? Unless we're prepared to listen to the answer. On one level, we might be talking about a religious vocation. Perhaps the person asks, what do you want of me, Lord? And the Lord might ask for your entire life. At the same time, that basic question, what do you want of me, Lord, can be asked by any one of us. It's not only to keep the commandments, but to choose a selfless way of life. Perhaps we're not being asked to sell all that we possess, but it does mean to examine my life and to see what possesses me, or more importantly, who possesses me. And the answer ought to be Christ. How might Christ be asking us to change our lives? What habits have we gotten into that really need to be broken? What relationships should we be making or perhaps ending? It may be a difficult choice and one that is challenging, but the words of Christ at the end of the gospel ought to ring true to our ears. Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing. Don't be afraid to ask. He will give us the wherewithal to follow through with the response.